What is going on YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today I'm bringing you yet another BT7 deck list profile. Today we're going to be going over my blue hybrid list with a small little Ancient Garurumon package. This is a deck that I was very excited to build going into BT7 just because I've been playing a lot of blue with the end of BT5 and then basically all of BT6, so I really like playing blue decks, and I really liked the hybrids. As you know, if you watched any of my Gabumon content, the Lobomon and the Kendo Garurumon were kind of the mascots of the channel there for a little bit, and we're going to be continuing with that because we got this blue hybrid deck list profile coming for you. Now, this isn't going to be the most refined deck just because it's really early in the metagame, but just like my last video, I just wanted to bring you all a nice base that has a decent amount of testing into it, so that way you can have a nice little base to go into the blue hybrid when we start BT7, and then you can make the changes as you see fit when you are testing. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into the list. As always, we're going to go and start off with our Digitama, and we're just going to have the 4 Garurumon here. A lot of hybrid lists are going to be having the 4 eggs. That just seems to be kind of the staple with the metagame right now. I do think that's going to change just because of the metagame being a little bit slower with the MDF ban, and so Susano is not going to be as crazy, so there's a chance we see more lists going up to 5. But as of right now, I'm just playing the 4 Garurumon because whenever you trash sources, you get to draw a card, and you're going to have a lot of sources where you're a lot of cards where you're going to trash sources. We have the Tommies, we have Howling Memory Boost, we have the Kumamon, all that, and so you're going to be able to just get that little extra draw. With blue eggs, a lot of the time, they kind of tend towards being cards that draw, and I think that's just really powerful, and so this is going to be the most consistent draw card of the blue eggs for this deck. Now, getting on into the rookies, we're going to have 4 of the BT7 Strabimon. This card is very powerful. You're going to be able to search a hybrid as well as Koji or Susanoomon, and so you have a lot of cards that you can hit off of this in the deck, and so it's just a really good searcher. You also have the inheritable of being able to play the Koji for free, so you're going to be able to get cards out on the board for free, so it's just a very powerful card. I don't think there's really much to say outside of this. I really think this is a good 4 of, though. Next, we're going to go ahead and be playing the 4 Strabimon, the older Strabimon, just because this is going to search. You're going to be able to hit a hybrid and a Tamer. A lot of times you're going to be able to get 2 hits off of this card. I just really like this. I've seen some blue lists that are playing a little bit lower on this Strabi, but I think this is one of the better ones. It's just so consistent in doing what it does, and it's just a really good consistency card, and I'm all about consistency when building decks, so I like these 4 and 4 here. And then we're going to have 2 of the BT6 Strabimon. This card is a little bit weaker in my opinion. There are a lot of lists that I've seen that are just running 4 of each, but I wasn't the biggest fan of this Strabimon. Sure, you can gain a memory, but a lot of the times you're going to be digivolving up on top of your Tamers more so than your rookies that you play, and these are going to be more so for searching and consistency. So I decided to cut down on this Strabimon. I just wasn't as impressed by it. I might go up with this in the future, but this is definitely one of the weaker rookies that you play in this deck, but it is a hybrid. It is going to give you memory. It does work with the list, so you definitely can play it. Then to finish off the blue rookies, we are playing 1 Madoki. I was just playing 3 Strabimons at one point of this Strabimon, and I decided I want to play Madoki. Bokomon's just really good in the metagame. It's going to be around a lot, and then you're also going to have the new memory boost. Now all the colors have multiple memory boosts that they can play, and so it's just a really good card. I really didn't see a lot of room to put in more than 1, but I just decided that I felt like this was going to be way more impactful than the 3rd BT6 Strabimon, so it was a really easy switch for me. Then to finish off the rookies, we are just playing 2 Bokomon. Now for a while I was playing 4 Bokomon, and it just felt a little too clunky. I don't know why it feels so clunky in this list. It's such a powerful card, and it can do so many things, but for some reason I just felt compelled to cut down to 2 in this list. I was playing 4 for a bit, decided to cut those down so that way I could go up in some more Strabimons in the rookies and have more color Strabis as well as some more searchers and hybrids, and so I just decided to cut these down just because you can put in other searchers that are not only hybrids but also are going to be able to go on top of Digi-Eggs, and so the Pokemon is still just so powerful that you can just play it at 2 or 3, but right now I have it at 2. This might go up again in the future because it is just pretty much the strongest card in the set, so there's a chance it goes up, but as of right now we're just playing the 2. It's not the most crazy card in this list. It's a lot crazier in some of the more other hybrid lists in my opinion, and so I just decided to cut down to 2. Now, getting on into the hybrids, we're going to have 4 Kumamon. With a lot of these hybrids, there's not really much to say just because it is a hybrid, blue hybrid list, so we're going to be playing a lot of these good cards. But Kumamon, really good. When Digivolving, you can go ahead and trash the bottom source of one of your opponent's Digivolution. This is essentially an upgraded Lobomon. It is 1k DP less, but it has a way better when Digivolving effect, so just going to play this at 4 because it's cheap. To Digivolve, you get a nice trashing effect. You can use this with your Garurumons on the board to get draws. And just overall, it's just a really good hybrid. Then we got the star of the show, the Kurikakumon. This card's just really insane. Being able to stop your opponent from attacking or blocking is just so impactful. And if you pair this with Tommy, you can just really slow down a lot of boards. Now, in this metagame, from what I'm seeing, a lot of times your opponent can have just not too many Digimon on the board, which can make it a little bit weaker. But when they just have one Digimon on the board, you can just go Kurikakumon one turn, Kurikakumon the next turn, and just really just stall out one Digimon multiple times for turns, so it can't really do anything. And I found that to be really powerful. So playing these at 4, these are going to be our 2 4 of hybrids, and then we're going to have 2 of the new Kendo. This card I just found to be pretty decent. It's not the craziest, but it is a 2 to Digivolve on top of one of your Tamers. You do get jamming. Jamming is a nice little keyword, but for the most part, I was just at one point I was playing these as Lobomon because they are 2 to Digivolve, but I don't really see a point of playing Lobomon instead of playing the Kendo because I can get +1 KDP and jamming, so it just seemed like a way better choice, so decided to go with that. And then to top it off, we are playing one of the old Kendo. Now this card is a little bit weaker in this format compared to past formats, but I still really like it here because it is a nice little tech. You can bounce back Bokomons, you can bounce back Cutemons and Siakomons, you can bounce back the Elecmons from the yellow hybrids and stuff like that. It's just, there are targets for this, but it is a little bit weaker, so we just keep it as a 1 of. There are a decent amount of searches for the hybrids, so if you ever hit a matchup where you need this, you're going to most likely be able to search it out pretty consistently. But it's not powerful enough to really play at more than 1. I was playing it at 2 for about a day or so, and very quickly decided to just cut it down so that way I can make room for other things. But this is going to be our hybrid lineup. We are playing 10 of the or 11 of the hybrids, which is going to be important when we talk about going into the Tamers. Then to finish off the level 4s, we are playing 2 of the promo Lobomon. Like I said, we do have a little bit side of an Ancient Garurumon package here. The main reason because it just works really well with the deck from what I found. You can search out these Lobomons very consistently, and then you can go ahead and when you promote from raising, you can really make this type of just big dude where you go into Ancient Garurumon, you get to swing 2 checks, and then when it dies, you get to play something else for free, so you get a lot of aggression while also being able to keep your board development on the board. And so I just really like the Ancient Garuru package. We're playing a little 2-2 package. It's nothing too big. It's definitely something that if you're not enjoying the Ancient Garurumon package, you could cut this for other things, but I really like it, and so I'm going to keep testing it for right now, but the Ancient Garuru is definitely the flex spot in the deck. Now getting on into our ultimates, we're keeping it nice and simple. We're going to go ahead and go with 4 of the new Beowulf and then 1 of the BT4 Beowulf. This is just because with our Megas, we are playing the Ancient Garuru as well as the Magna Garuru, and you can warp up to these very easily, and from your lower level Digimon, making the level 5s not as necessary. Now obviously you still can build up on top of them to get to your level 6, and that's going to be very good, but they're not as necessary, so playing this at 5 really isn't that bad of a ratio. You're going to pretty consistently be able to get your level 5s when you need them, and like I said, your level 6s a lot of times you're going to be able to warp up with Koji, or you're going to be able to warp up with Promo Lobo, and so that makes these a little bit weaker. But the new Beowulfmon is just really good at when attacking, you can go and bounce stuff back, get cards into your hands. It's just a really good momentum shift card. And then the Beowulf here, I was in between if I wanted to play this Beowulf or the Dai Penmon. I'm still kind of in between those, but I decided I really like the Beowulfmon because you can swing in with jamming, you're going to survive just about everything, and then it can't be attacked on your opponent's turn, and that just means that you're going to be able to most likely be able to unsuspend it next turn, swing. This also has a really good combo with things like Ancient Garurumon, where you're able to swing and then swing the Ancient Garuru and unsuspend them both, and you can just get a lot of aggressive power. So I just decided that I liked this one of Beowulfmon a little bit more than any of the other ultimates that I could tech in here, and it's just a hybrid. It just works out really well, and so I like this level 5 lineup. Next up, we got the 2 Ancient Garurus getting into the level 6s. Like I said, we have a 2-2 line of the Ancient Garuru. You can Digivolve this on top of one of your level 5s if you want to, and it's not that big of a deal because then it won't die at the end of the turn, and you'll be able to still get extra checks. But the Ancient Garurumon, like I said, I just think it works really well with the deck. It is a 10 warrior, so you can go ahead and get value off of that, but also just the Promo Lobos are so easy to get to that you can just really get this out. The 2-2 package really isn't that big of a deal, and then you have the upside of where if you have other hybrids on the board, you can go ahead and swing with one. If it survives, then you can swing Ancient. Ancient's effect will unsuspend both, and then now you get 2 attacks from both of those Digimon, and it's just so much aggressive offensive pressure that it really just made a lot of sense to play them when I saw the deck, and so we're just playing a little 2-2 line, just a little splash, nothing too crazy. Then we're going to have 2 of the Magna Garurumon here. These are just going to be our 4 level 6s here, really low on the level 6s because these level 6s themselves are very easy to get up into, and also they do both, most of the time, are going to be able to swing for multiple checks in one turn, meaning that this deck can get very aggressive very quickly and come from basically out of nowhere. The Magna Garu is just really good. We have the Kojis to be able to warp up, but being able to bounce things back on Digivolve when attacking, be able to unsuspend, swing, this card is just super sick. Big fan of it. It is also a hybrid in itself, so you can search this out, unlike Ancient Garuru, where you can't search out with the hybrid unless you hit something that searches 10 warriors. You can search out the Magna Garuru, so this is just a very good, consistent level 6. I was considering playing it at 3, and I think you still can. I don't really know exactly where the room to put the third one in is when we're playing the Ancient Garuru package, because I feel like you just have to cut the Ancient Garus and play some more Magnas, but as of right now, we're just sitting with the 2 and 2. I'm a big fan of it. Both of these do very different things, but they're both they work very well together, especially if you can get an Ancient and a Magna on this board at the same time, so that way you can swing, unsuspend with its effect, swing, then swing an Ancient Garuru, unsuspend both of them, and then swing, and it's just the aggressive pressure with the Ancient Garuru is just insane, and you pair that with the Magna, and you'll be able to bounce things back. It's very good. Then 1 Susano. If you saw my yellow hybrid list, it's pretty much the same reasoning why I'm playing 1 in that list. It's just without MDF, the deck's a lot slower. You're not going to be able to go to Susano as cheaply or as quickly and make it be as impactful. It's still a very, very powerful card, so you want to play it in the list, but without MDF, it's not as crazy, and with the level 6 lineup that we have, plus the hybrids, you can just get very aggressive very quickly, and so the Susanoomon becomes not as important, so it's just there as a little backup plan, you know. If you need to get that aggression, you can go in there. If you really need to just, like, Digivolve on top of one of your level 6s, so you can delete one of their level 6s or one of the level 7s on the board. It's just a very versatile card. It is a bit expensive, but we are playing cards that'll gain us memory, like the Howling Memory Boost and the Sorajos, so there are a lot of times where you can play this without passing your turn, even though it is a 7 to Digivolve, and then you can get that when Digivolving, delete, swing 3 checks, and so it's just a good as a 1 of. I think 2 is going to be way too clunky. Now, getting into our Tamers, we're going to be having 4 of the Tommy. Nothing to really say here. This card's just broken. How it didn't get hit on the restricted list, I have no idea, but this paired with the Kurikakumon is just absolutely insane. You can trash 3 from the bottom, which is going to make things like your Sorajos just way more active. The Inheritable is insane, especially when you pair it with Kurikakumon, because then you can just double up on it, and so for Tommy here, it just felt natural. You just got to play the 4 Tommy. It's so strong. Then we're going to have 3 Davis here. I decided with 3 Davis because 4 I feel like it's a little too clunky. I'm not playing as many Tamers in this list because we have a decent amount of rookies, so there's a big way to like build up. And so I don't think you need to play like 14 Tamers in this list or something crazy like a lot of other lists are playing. So I decided with the 3 Davis. It's consistent enough to where you're probably going to play 1 or 2 Davis in a game. You're going to be able to get that memory. You're going to be able to get that search. And I just don't think the 4th is super necessary, especially with how much cycle there is in this list and how much you're going to be able to search out Tamers. Tamers between 3 and 4 aren't that different. We're just playing the Tommy at 4 because it's that good. Then we're going to have 2 Sorajo. This is the one card that I kind of want to go up to 3. I was playing 4 at one point, cut down to 2, and now I'm kind of wanting to go back up to 3, kind of hit that middle ground, just because this card's so good. When you get 1 or 2 of these out, you can gain so much memory, especially when you're playing paired with Tommies or Howling Memory Boost and stuff like that, just to trash the sources, and then it comes back into your turn. You get to gain all that memory. It also prevents your opponent from safely being able to hard play things, because if they hard play something, then you're going to get an extra 2 memory, unless they Digivolve on top of it. But the Sorajo is just so good. I'm considering going up to 3, but that's going to have to take a little bit of more testing to decide. Then we're going to have the 2 Koji. I was playing just 1 Koji for a little bit, but I decided that the Inheritable is pretty decent enough to where you can just play this out, and then if you don't go up into your Magna, it's not that big of a deal. Digivolve on top of it, go ahead and gain some memory, and then you don't get blocked. The not being blocked in this metagame seems fairly useless because it doesn't really affect it that much. There's not that many blockers, but the ability to just like play this and then threaten to be able to go into Magna, and then if you don't, you can play this, end up gaining a memory, extending your turns, and so it's just really good just playing this here. But these are going to be the Tamers. I said that Keeping track of there being 11 hybrids is important because we are playing 11 Tamers here, so there is one hybrid for each Tamer. I don't know if that's going to be the perfect ratio, but like I said, I am a little bit lower on the Tamers just so that way I could go a little bit up in the rookies that are going to help us search out. And yeah, it's just worked out really well for me. This Tamer lineup, like I said, I might consider going up to a third Sworjo with this Koji, or I might just keep this and then cut something else to go up with the third Sworjo. But as of right now, this is the Tamer lineup that we have, and I think the 4 here, the 2 here are pretty correct, and then it's maybe the 4th one here and maybe the 3rd one here that you can consider, but this is where we're at right now. Now, to end off the list, we are going to be having our option cards, and it's going to be very quick, very simple. We're going to have 2 Howling Memory Boost. This is going to be part of our memory gain because we aren't playing Hammer Sparks in this list. Just no room to really play the Hammer Sparks, I found, and so I still wanted to have some sort of way to be able to gain memory and be able to extend turns outside of things like Sworjo, something that's a little bit more in my control because I control when I go ahead and pop this Howling, but it also just works really well because with our egg, if you have it out, you can trash some sources, get some draw in, and it also just slows down your opponent by making it so they can't attack and block. You can go and Howlin something, make it so it can't attack or block. Then next turn, you can go into Kurikakumon and make it so it can't attack or block, or Digivolve on top of Tommy, make it so it can't attack or block. It's just a good extender for being able to slow down the game and get your aggression. And then to finish off the list, we're playing the 1 Ice Wall. Nothing to say here. Ice Wall did get hit down to 1. We're going to play it. It's such a good card. It has still a great inheritable effect, being able to gain 2 memory. You hit this 1 Ice Wall when you really need it. It can win you the game. Ice Wall at 1 is still going to be very powerful. It's just not going to be as powerful as being able to double Ice Wall in 1 turn or Ice Wall back to back to back. But Ice Wall is definitely still here. Still a very powerful card. You play it at 1 because it's restricted down to 1, but you're going to want to play it anyway because it's so good. And it's going to be one of those cards where having Ice Wall at 1, you're going to have to be a lot better at understanding when you need to Ice Wall because this card is so impactful, as we know, that now you can't kind of just play them as willy-nilly since you only have 1, and so you're going to have to be a little more knowledgeable about when to play this, but it's still a strong card that a lot of times you can just throw it down, say you're at 1 memory, good luck, and that's going to be good enough. But with that being said, this is going to be this list. Like I said, there's definitely a lot of changes you could make to this list because a lot of lists aren't playing the Ancient Garurumon package, so you could change some things up there, but for the most part, this deck list has been very good for me. This has actually been one of the lists that I've been playing the most against some people at our locals testing, just because I've been trying to refine this list. I have a lot more testing with the yellow hybrid, so I wanted to try to get caught up with the blue hybrid as well, and this is the list that I enjoy. If I could say some things I'd want to change, I would definitely like to fit some Hammer Sparks in this list, because there are just those turns where having Hammer Spark would be super fantastic, or just also having the inheritable, or the security effect that Ice Wall has, and just having a couple extra of those in security to maybe save you. Those things would be really nice, but if you can't fit it, I don't think it's that big of a deal. The deck plays a lot different than a lot of the other blue hybrid lists, or a lot of the blue decks that we've seen in the past, so you don't necessarily need it, but that's something that I would consider changing. But I hope you enjoyed this list. I hope this does well for you day 1 of BT7. Let me know any changes you would make, or what changes you do make, what you like and you don't like about this list, because I'm definitely trying to improve myself going into this and improve all my decks, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. But with that being said, I'll catch you all next time. I hope you have a great day. Peace out.